Hello and welcome to Hip Stitch's Hand Sewing Unicorn. Everything you see pictured are materials that come with your set, except for pins and scissors. First things first, you're going to thread your needle, and I'm just doing mine single, so I'm putting the thread through the eye of the needle, and then on the longer tail, I am tying a double knot. Then step 2, I'm pinning the big fat nose into place, and then step 3, I'm putting that big fat nose on with a back stitch. So a back stitch, there is a video on this YouTube channel that goes over how to do all these stitches included with the hand sewing kits. But it's pretty simple. You make a stitch and then you go a little bit before where you want that stitch to end, and then you go back to the beginning of the last stitch, as you can see. And I'm going to do that all the way around. Now for steps 4 and 5, before I attempt to put on the nostrils and eyelashes, I'm going to draw a bit of a guide for myself. The eyelashes you can complete in a lot of different ways. You can either draw that little U shape and then put the eyelashes on afterwards, but I'm going to put the eyelashes on as I go throughout the U shape. So I'll do a little bit, poke it out, do a little bit, poke it out, but there's lots of different ways to do that. So I'm going to do that on that eye and it on the other eye as well. And then for the nostrils, they're really simple. You just come up and come down where you want them to start and end. Step 6 is attaching this little pocket. This is an applique stitch, and like I said, all these stitches are on that stitch video tutorial that we have on this YouTube channel. So if you want to see these a little bit more close up, but I am doing this applique stitch, which is a come on, come off, all the way around that U shape. And now for step 7, preparing the horn with a whip stitch around that coned edge. And a whip stitch is top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, wrapping motion all the way around. Step 8, attach that horn onto the back of the head with a running stitch, which is an up-down motion. When you start a stitch like this, you always come from the back up. That way you don't see the knot on the front. And you finish that thread on the back as well. The last part of finishing your unicorn front is attaching those sweet little arms. So you're going to put on those arms with an applique stitch, just like you did for the pocket. So all the way around that curved shape. You don't need to do the applique stitch on the flat edge, since that will get tucked in anyway at the end. Step 10 is the final stretch. You are doing a whip stitch all the way around the edge, not before you reach all the way around, of course. You want to stop before you get all the way around so that you can stuff it, and then continue to do a whip stitch to close it up. To finish off, I'm just tying a knot and trimming off the excess thread. Enjoy your hand-sewn stuffed unicorn.